You picked up the controller to play for 20 minutes. 3 hours later, the room is dark and you forgot to eat. It wasn't laziness. It wasn't addiction. The real answer is far stranger. And it starts about 2 million years ago, long before screens existed. Your brain was not built for the world you live in. It was built for a world where the most important thing you could do was get better at something dangerous. Hunt, fight, outmaneuver, survive. Every time you improved a skill that kept you alive, your brain rewarded you with a flood of dopamine, not as a luxury, but as a survival signal. Do more of this. Master this. You need this to live. That mechanism never switched off. It just found new things to latch onto. Researcher Jaak Panksepp spent decades studying the emotional systems of the mammalian brain. He identified what he called the SEEK system, a primal neural circuit that drives all mammals, including you, to explore, pursue, and master challenges. It is not about achieving the goal. It is about the hunt itself. The moment you stop chasing, the circuit goes quiet. So you keep playing. You keep going, because your ancient brain reads mastery as survival. Here is what makes this strange. Women's brains have the same SEEK system, but the expression of it diverges sharply in response to one thing: perceived stakes. Anthropologist David Geary has studied this divergence across dozens of cultures. He found that in environments where resources were uncertain and competition was high, males of nearly every social species leaned harder into skill-based play and status competition. Not because they were told to, because the ones who didn't were less likely to pass on their genes. Your obsession with leveling up is not a personality flaw. It is a selection pressure wearing a headset. Think about what a video game actually is. It is a perfectly engineered competence loop. You are given a skill gap. You are given a feedback system. You close the gap. The gap widens. You close it again. Every promotion screen, every unlock, every boss defeated is your brain receiving the exact chemical signal it evolved to receive when you learn to throw a spear more accurately or read terrain faster than the rival in the next valley. But here is the counterintuitive twist. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying what he called flow, the mental state where challenge and skill perfectly align and time disappears. He found this state was not tied to relaxation. It was tied to effort under optimal pressure. Ancient men found it tracking prey for hours through dense forest. You find it on the third attempt at a boss you almost beat. The feeling is identical. The neurochemistry is identical. Your brain does not know the difference between hunting a mammoth and hunting an achievement. Now here is the mirror. Notice what happens when the game is too easy. You stop playing. Notice what happens when it is impossible. You stop playing. The sweet spot is the zone where you are almost good enough. That zone is not a game mechanic. That zone is what your ancestors lived inside every single day of their lives. This is why men, on average, will sink hundreds of hours into a system that gives them nothing tangible in return. Because for most of human history, mastery of a skill was the most tangible thing in the world. It was the difference between eating and starving, between status and invisibility, between passing on your lineage and vanishing from history completely. You are not escaping the world when you play. You are returning to the oldest version of it. The part where getting better at something mattered more than anything else. The part where the loop never ended because survival never ended. Tonight, when you pick up the controller again, your brain won't know it's a game. It will just know you are still in the hunt. If this earned a few minutes of your attention, imagine what the next video might do. Subscribe and become part of a community.